So my name is Vicky. I work for Front Funder. A little bit about how I came to Front Funder. I actually was an investor in a company that I came to know about through their marketing, and I found out that they were raising capital. So I decided to invest, and from there I've been following Front Funder ever since. And I just love the mission, how it democratizes the private markets to allow retail investors to invest, while also providing an alternative source of capital for startups. So a little bit about what Front Funder is. We're Canada's leading equity crowdfunding platform. Our mission is to open up investment opportunities to all Canadians. We just hit our 100th successful campaign, and we have raised 120 million since we've opened in 2015. To date, we have had 10 liquidity events. As you can see, a bunch of them are listed on here. Not all of them have exited, but we've had some great success with a lot of companies. We've had Very Good Food, Nightscope, Pontus Protein are three that have exited. And we've done multiple launches with companies like Ecologist and Hard Bacon. Now, equity crowdfunding. It can be used as a complementary source of funding, or it can be used as the entire round. I want to point out that we do work with traditional funders. So we've worked with traditional funders in the past, and this is an example of one that we did with TipTap. This was a company where we raised almost 9 million in total, where almost 900,000 that came through Front Funder. So this is a great example of how we work with VCs, angels, investment banks to complete a round. And a lot of companies want to open up a part of their fundraising round to the community. And so they would go through Front Funder to do that. This is great because it offers the retail investor to have the opportunity to invest, where you can market your raise to your community and also reach new audience, thereby increasing awareness and creating brand ambassadors. Not only that, but you'll often see that when you're increasing sales while you're raising. The reason why you're doing this is because you're marketing your brand or your service while you're fundraising. So you're driving traffic to your campaign page where potential investors can have access to see everything about your company. You're basically bringing your story to life on a digital platform where investors can see the best of the best. Therefore, investors can become customers and customers can become investors. So you're increasing awareness, you're increasing visibility of your product from a marketing standpoint and from a grassroots perspective, which is why equity crowdfunding is used as a great marketing tactic as well as a way to raise capital. Here are some examples of what the marketing could look like. So this was one that we did with TipTap, where they used channels like YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook to drive traffic to their campaign page, as well as one we did with a company called Willow. This is a prop tech company, and this is what their marketing looked like. So here's an example of their Instagram ads that they used. So invest in the future of real estate. And then you could click to learn more, and that's where you would go to their campaign page and learn all about their company. Typically, we work with companies from C to Series A. That tends to be our sweet spot. So if you're doing a seed round or a Series A round, we tend to do really well in those financing phases. In terms of our process and our timeline, it's 90 to 120-day timeline to funding. So you'll go through the due diligence process, campaign preparation. You'll get a private link that you can send out to your network before going live, and then you would have your public launch, and then you close the campaign. Typically, the length of the campaign is anywhere from 45 to 90 days, and the campaign prep is anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. This is a brief overview of, front funder and equity crowdfunding, but essentially the beauty of equity crowdfunding is you're raising capital while increasing awareness, getting market validation, and converting your community into investors, thereby creating brand ambassadors. If you would like to learn more or want to inquire if this is a fit for you, I would be more than happy to talk to you more about this, and we can set up a call and I can tell you more about Front Funder, and I would love to learn more about what your business has to offer. I've put my details in this final slide here. I'd like to open it up to any questions that anybody may potentially have.
Yes, I do have one question. First of all, thank you very much for doing this presentation. It is very interesting, and I didn't know about this, so it's enlightening. I would like to present our situation. We are an international team, yeah. We could say that our base is in Uruguay, South America. We're a small country between Argentina and Brazil, yeah, or bigger networks, yeah. We are in the CryptoChicks current cohort, yeah. We are right now having discussions about how to incorporate a company for our project, yeah? So my question is, let's say this looks very interesting and very promising. Is there a limitation about the places, the jurisdictions where we should be incorporated to access this investment market?
It's a great question. So Front Funder, we process Canadian investments, and thereby we work with Canadian companies. The other thing to bear in mind is the community aspect. So we look for a community within Canada because those are the investments that we can process. So just if you have a headquarters here in Canada, but the majority of your community is in a different country, then it's probably better to look for a different crowdfunding site within that country. And crowdfunding is still fairly new. We've been around since 2015, but if you are international, there are other crowdfunding sites that you can go to that are in the UK and in Europe. In the UK and Europe, it's very popular. I think I read a stat where like 40% of startups get their funding actually from a various component of crowdfunding or equity crowdfunding. So that is something that you could take into account. I think in terms of like the fundamentals of equity crowdfunding, they all kind of, offer the same value where not only are you raising capital, but you're converting your community into investors, and you can use this as part of like the marketing mix in addition to raising capital. I hope I answered your question.
We do have a Canadian partner, but it's 1 people in 6, yeah. So I don't know. So if we would like to crowdfund in this market and have your advice on it, we will have to incorporate a Canadian company. Yeah.
Yeah, there needs to be a Canadian headquarters as well as having a Canadian community. And community, I should define that. Community can mean like LinkedIn followers, social media followers, customers, and any users that you may have.
Okay.
I'd be happy to talk to you more about this if you'd like. You can either give me a call, and I can also talk to you more about this if you want to discuss it a bit more.
Yeah, of course. You really, we can see that you are very knowledgeable about this, and any help will be greatly appreciated. We are we have been working on this project for 1 year. Yeah. Let me open my camera here. No? Do you see me?
Yep, I can see you.
Oh, okay, but I don't see me. So, because I'm rebooting my Linux machine because I was trying to print a page before the call, and you can hear it now. Okay, but let me. So the thing is, we have been working on this for a year. We have been the last 6 months working on a prototype. We are now, we have a landing page. We are starting a beta testing of the app. We have both Spanish speaking and English speaking users. It's maybe natural for us because, and I don't know, we were discussing Word Incorporate, and our first option is here locally, of course, but we could change our minds. I don't know. It would be great to set up a call. Yeah.
Yeah, and in terms of prototypes, typically, so with us, there usually has to be like market validation already before coming on to Front Funder, because we are, you know, using the retail investor is investing. So if there is a prototype, we recommend more going with like a Kickstarter or Indiegogo first. And then once you have market validation, then we'd be a good option. But yes, I'm more than happy to talk to you offline in more detail about it.
Great. Sorry if they were speaking to me here because it's work time, and I said everything is buzzing and everyone is buzzing around. Sorry, but
no worries.
Yeah, it will be very interesting. We would like to hear. We would like to show you the app prototype and our landing page, and to hear your opinion on this. Yeah, and because it's obvious that you are knowledgeable about this, and we are really just starting. You know, we have been funding the project ourselves. Now we think that we've been working hard, you know, so we think that we are ready for growing a bit. Yeah, you will be able to assess that by yourself if you see our current material, but we think that we are ready to grow a bit, and that we could, yeah, take some investment and build a bigger product and so, yeah.
Yeah, my contact information is on the slide there, so you can always just give me a call, and I'd be happy to answer any more or any additional questions that you may have.
Yeah, perfect. Mariano, Mariano is my partner in this project, yeah, soon to be a company. What do you think?
Hello. Well, I think Vicky was clear that to access to this crowdfunding, we need to be in Canada, and we have to build a community in Canada. But other than this, it's very good.
Yes, that's correct. Are there any other questions that I can answer for you?
Do you have an idea about how expensive will it be to incorporate a company in Canada?
I'm not sure about incorporating. I'm not too familiar on that side of things. But in terms of crowdfunding, whether you're doing a Kickstarter campaign or equity crowdfunding, it's really important to allocate marketing dollars and a marketing resource to market the raise. So when I was kind of going through the marketing imagery, for example, it's important to put money behind a digital campaign. Typically, we found Instagram and Facebook to be very, those are like the best channels to market through. And, you know, you want to make sure that when you're allocating a budget towards marketing, you're also allocating a point person to, you know, spend time to work on the campaign, because you will be paired up with a campaign strategy coach who will coach you through like all the best practices. They're going to hold your hand throughout the entire campaign. But you want to have someone from your team that's going to be able to, you know, execute and, you know, make sure that everything is kind of being as optimized as possible.
Oh, wow. Sounds good, really. I would like to have such support. That would be great. But as I tell you, the thing is we will need to be like a Canadian community, which will be great. I really enjoy talking with Canadians. I have known maybe 2,000. It's not much for a statistical paper, but I like it. And it would be great to have a community there, but I don't know, we are just starting, so we need to think how to do things. But yeah, I would really like to set up another call with you and see
Sure,
what
yeah.
we can do.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah, of course. Do you agree, Mariana?
Yes, I agree. Of course.
Okay, let's do it next week. Okay.
Sure, yeah. You can either just give me a call and just text me if you want to set up a quick call, or you can email me and I can set one up for us.
Let me check if I have your email address visible here so we can schedule a call.
Stacy, are there any other questions, do you think? Or
I'm checking in the live stream and no other questions.
okay.
No other questions.
Do you think there's anything else I should maybe cover, or do you think I kind of gave a pretty good overview of everything, and if they want to go into more detail, then they can reach out?
I think you gave a great overview, and at least it gives us indication of what you can do for some of the startups. So I think now at least people have heard. Now your information is on the slide, so at least now people can reach out with more questions for you, and then obviously they can now have one-on-one with you. Like for example, Fatima and Mariano, they will reach out to you, and then at least you can provide them with information